Do you own one or more CFMOTO motorcycles? Have you been looking for aftermarket parts online? Have you discovered that here in the United States, the aftermarket parts online are extremely limited? I might be able to help this week on Angelo's Motorcycle. So you've got your new CFMOTO motorcycle. Whether it's a 450 SS, or an Adventura 650, or a 700 CLX Sport, you've had some difficulty finding aftermarket parts. I know I have. With the 650 Adventura, for example, I wanted to get a new seat. Corbin's never heard of this motorcycle. I talked to Seat Concepts, who did a seat for my KLX 230S Kawasaki, which I absolutely love. Fantastic seat, by the way, Seat Concepts. Nice job. They don't have any availability. So what I'm running is a product called the Wild for now on this motorcycle. And what I've discovered is that the aftermarket for these motorcycles is actually quite extensive in other parts of the world, using apps that we don't necessarily shop on, and using a name that we might not necessarily be familiar with. For example, they do not call this motorcycle the 650 Adventura in the rest of the world. They call it the 650 MT. If you search 650 MT on a website like AliExpress, you come back with all kinds of good stuff, a couple of which I've just had delivered and we're going to install today. Gas tank protectors that have nice CFMOTO logo. Try and say that 10 times fast. CFMOTO logos on them, along with 650 MT, because that's what it's called in other parts of the world. Oh, and by the way, these were extraordinarily inexpensive on a website called AliExpress. So what is AliExpress? Everybody will tell you, oh, AliExpress is this and AliExpress is that. AliExpress is eBay and Amazon combined together, but it's based overseas. It surpassed Walmart as the largest retailer in the world. I'm going to say that again. The largest retailer in the world back in 2017. So, but it is like eBay in that you have to be buyer beware. Not all sellers are good. Some sellers are worse than others. You can look at their store, you can see their ratings, just like on eBay. But it's a lot more like Amazon in that there isn't really bidding, there's just pricing, right? So it's kind of like eBay Buy It Now, pretty much nonstop. I found these handguards. These handguards were like 30 bucks, right? And they came off of AliExpress. These are made specifically for the 650 MT, aka the 650 Adventura. And we are going to install these this week. And these are extremely nice. And I believe these were $33. And the thing that surprises me as well is not only that they are so nice, they are very nice. And I am expecting the install to go without a hitch. We'll see what happens there. But I was also very pleasantly surprised at the instructions, okay? The instructions seem to be clear and concise, even though they are in multiple languages. The instructions are clear and concise with pictures, and I was thoroughly impressed at the quality of the hardware. This is good hardware. I am totally surprised. So, I want to add, for those of you with the 450 SS, that in other parts of the world it is called the 450 SR. So if you didn't know that already, I want to throw that out there. I found it out through doing research online of the 450 SS. Usually 450 SR will come up as well. If you search parts on AliExpress for the 450 SR, the aftermarket for that motorcycle is so extensive. It isn't even funny. You can replace every part on that motorcycle with a anodized aluminum goodie. There are numerous exhaust options, full exhaust options, slip-on exhaust options, a ton of exhaust options. And I am I am contemplating several of those. There are also wheel decal options that are out there that I actually ordered. I ordered a set for the 450, and when they came, the blue was the wrong blue. It was a different blue. So I took those and I put them on my Adventura. I cut off the 450 SR and I put it on that wheel, the 450 SR on there. So my wheel now says 450 SR SS. Who cares? But then this wheel, the Adventura wheel, now has wheel decals, which I thought is really good because it gives reflectivity from the side. They're very bright. Cars that high beams or headlights shine on you at night, the wheel decal is very bright. That's a good safety thing. You want to be seen. So I wanted to add that in. As far as I know, the 700 CLX is called the 700 CLX everywhere. Pretty much the same. The Sport and the Adventure. They do offer an off-road adventure model, I believe, in Australia. But if you search the CFMOTO websites of the world, and of course the most interesting one is China, where they have a Papio that looks like a cafe racer. And I have dreams of getting my hands on that cafe racer bodywork and converting a US Papio to that body style. So who knows? You may see that in a future video. So let's get back to it. First things first, I had installed this clear one just as a temporary one to protect this gas tank. But this was just temporary, and I always knew this was temporary. I didn't really like this clear one. I found it locally, super inexpensively. And of course, it's leaving a little bit of adhesive on there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure that we get, in fact, all of the adhesive off of the tank, just like this. And then I'm going to hit it with a degreasing agent. Choose your favorite degreaser, and we'll just throw that away. I like Purple Power. I'm a big fan of Purple Power Cleaner Degreaser for various things. You don't want to leave it on the bike because it can act as a paint remover in extreme situations. So I spray it on the cloth and wipe it on here. And then when I am confident that all of the adhesive is gone, as well as any wax, polish, anything like that, anything that's going to prevent a good stick with the glue. There, we are nice and clean. And now we can center this and apply this. This will be the easy part of this install. I don't anticipate this to be very difficult. But this does give us a chance to take a better look at this product. I believe this was $13. It might have been $19. I would have to look back. But this is 3M. This isn't cheap garbage. And you can tell it's CFMOTO because there's the Experience More Together logo that they have, and this appears to fit in here. It fits right here, and it fits perfectly. Like, exactly. Follows the body lines perfectly. There is no doubt where that is supposed to be applied. And then this, I assume, is the same exact way. Again, there is no doubt where that is supposed to be applied. But I am not sure how high up it goes or how down it goes. So what I think I'm going to do, because the sides have a very definitive mounting location, I think I'm going to do the sides first. And then do the center based on where the sides end up, so that there is a continuity between the decals across the machine. I think that would be best. I'm just going to fold in my side view mirrors on the 450 SS so I don't bump them. And let's come in here and see how we do. This is actually, like, I can't tell you how thick and the high quality that this is. It's super impressive. So I am just going to, before I peel that, I'm just going to kind of get a feel for where this goes. We're going to follow that curvature, and we're going to follow that seat. And I'm going to get just a little more light, just to assist in this matter. because it's just a little dark in that part of the garage, because I didn't pull the 650 Adventura over onto the lift, because I don't think I need to stick a sticker on a gas tank. I don't think I need it on the lift. Or to put handguards on a handlebar. I don't think I need it on a lift. So I will put this right here. And then this will enable us to... And that is perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. I'm going to back this light up, or maybe I'm better off without the light. Let's see here. No, I'm better with the light, but I'm better if the light was located in a different location. Let me see what happens if I put the light back here. Oh yeah, much better. And it's actually staying, which is a miracle. Alright, so there is that. So the biggest line that I want to line up with, I think, is right here. That looks good. Alright, let's go for it. So there is that. That has been peeled. So I'm willing to bet that once this sticks, it's going to stick. So we need to make sure that we are right where we want to be. And work my way up the decal. Because we don't want to have any wrinkles. And that is perfect. And I am thoroughly impressed with how that looks. 650 MT, experience more together. There's the 650, there's the CFMOTO logo, there's CFMOTO right there. And it's white and silver, which matches the white and silver on this Adventura. It doesn't get any better than that. Very good accessory available from AliExpress. So now I will go and we will do the other side. And through the magic of camera editing, we are now on the other side. So, hi there. Let's go. Let's see here. So again, we want to line up with the seat. And I want to make sure that I'm right along this bottom line, because that's exactly where I put it on the other side. Not that you would be able to see the two sides at the same time, because you wouldn't. But you still want it to be fairly close. And so I am going to take this hat off so that my brim isn't obscuring your view. I'm going to move the camera over a little bit. There you go. And I want to be right there. Right there. And does that follow the line the way I want it to? Not exactly. If you follow this seat line, you pretty much end up following this body line by default. And there it is. We go gradually, work our way to the end. No air bubbles, no muss, no fuss, no problems. That looks good. Now let's take a look from the back. Now, based on where these two sides ended, which is why I wanted to put the two sides on first, because I wanted to see where the sides would line up, so that I knew where I should line up the centerpiece. Because if the centerpiece is higher than the sides, or the sides are higher than the centerpiece, I don't think it would look right. So looking here, you can see that the side pieces line up pretty much in the exact same location, where I pretty much wanted to put the centerpiece anyway to begin with. So this all is going to line up very nicely. And we'll take a few photos after we are done. I'll take a few photos to share with you. So what I'm trying to do is center this and simultaneously have it be about the same evenness from the seat as these side ones. And that's very good. I will take that. That looks good to me. And that is good protection. Now this obviously is meant to be substantially lower than this, because it is. And I am just a slight little bit to the left, it appears. Let me look at that from here. Yeah, I am just slightly crooked. So I wonder if it is something that I can fix if I do it right now. Yes, it is. That's another thing that attests to the quality of this 3M vinyl. You can make a correction without destroying it. And that is impressive. And now that looks dead on. So I was able to remove it and make a correction without distorting the vinyl or putting air bubbles in the vinyl or hurting the vinyl, which is a very good thing. I did get one little air bubble, and I just took that out. So there it is. And if you run into any difficulty with any bubbles or any deformations that don't come out, you can always hit this with a heat gun. But again, this was such good quality Scotch film. I don't anticipate you running into any difficulties. And that is a fantastic look for the 650 Adventura, aka the 650 MT from CFMOTO. Here's a few still shots to show how it came out. The product is very good. It was $13.49 plus 94 cents tax for where I live, for a total of $14.43 from a seller called WLP Moto Store on AliExpress. And they also do have one in a blue version for the other colorway. So I've been looking at these instructions for about 5 minutes, and I've got it figured out. They give you a very simple diagram to follow here, which shows these metal arms. And they tell you on one side the handguard is placed on the outermost side, on the end of the bar end, of course. And the accessory cover of the handguard is placed on the outermost side as shown in figure 2, yes. And then it says the other end of the handguard is installed on the mirror base, and the installation of the bracket can be adjusted according to the position of the throttle cable as shown. So basically, you need to remove your mirrors and then put them back on. So it's a 14mm box wrench to loosen the mirrors, and there goes the mirror. So let's go ahead and let's loosen the mirror up. Is it not going to? There we go. The mirror does not want to just spin freely because the windshield is in the way. So just for expediency, I am not going to remove the windshield. I'm just going to keep on loosening the mirror this way. Poof, there it goes. And then this will attach here, like that. Actually, I believe it goes like this. I had this. Let's get the handguard out and see, and we'll put the mirror back on after. So there is a metal piece, a retainer here. Oh, I see what has happened. I have switched which one was in my hands. And I accidentally grabbed the one from the other side, which is why all of a sudden it didn't make sense. Yeah, I grabbed the one from the other side. So, we have our hand guards, the two plastic pieces, lock inside each other. And then there's very nice mounting hardware that goes on here. And then this bracket has a retainer that goes like that. And then this goes in like this. And then this is going to feed in and go under the mirror and attach on here like this. And that is pretty much it right there. And it looks like absolutely perfect. So I just need to get this Allen bolt going in here. And I believe it is a 5. Yep, good guess. So I'll just get it started and leave it loose until we have everything tightened down. And then the same thing goes for the mirror. I'm not going to tighten it down until I have this handguard fully attached. Okay, so this handguard is ready to go on. And it is going to go over this bar end. So now, when you take the bar ends off of this machine, you're going to notice that this is a 6mm. And when you unscrew this, there is a big bolt inside a large bolt. And you'll notice that half of this is flat. So you need to compress this in like a bench vise and then loosen this nut out, because you need to take this nut out and replace it with a longer one that goes through the handguard through the aluminum spacer. And then you will replace this one back into the order it goes. So that's what we have to do right now. So we'll take a little run over to the bench vise. Okay, here we are at the messy bench vise. Don't mind all the parts. There are parts for my truck, parts for other motorcycles, parts for school bikes. And so what I just want to make sure I do is I just want to make sure that I get that flat spots. And that's what I did. And so I'm going to just crack this loose, hopefully. And it's not really cooperating. So I'm going to use my rubber mallet tool here. There it goes. Just to break it loose. There we go. Now I can loosen the bench vise. And then now the bolt can be removed. And then back here, you will see there is a little threaded part that the new bar end has to go on. So now we go back to the bike to replace this bolt with the longer one that came with the kit. Okay. So, and I will save those bolts in a little baggie that says CFMOTO 650 MT or 650 Adventura, or both. I've gotten accustomed to calling it both now. So the kit comes with some really nice looking hardware, and what this basically is this is to go here. To to make it look nice. And then it comes with a internal spacer as well, which I assume then goes here. And then there is this part, and then this part, and then all of this threads into there, and then this would attach to the mirror point, and then you're off to the races. So I'm going to put all of these together loosely, just to so that I can manipulate them all and line them all up, and then I will tighten them all after the fact. So for right now, we just want this slightly tight, not loose. We just want it threaded. But you want to thread it a couple of threads so that it doesn't rip out or anything like that. So there we have it. So then this will go in here like this. And that is tightening up very nicely. Okay, now I think I have this arm bent into a shape that I can use for my application. And I still feel that right smack dab in the middle is the best place for me, right in between the two cables. And now we are going to find out for sure if I can get this screw to thread in, then we should be done. There we go. So that looks pretty good to me. And I'm going to tighten that up a little bit and see what that does to the handguard. It brings it up a little. And now I'm going to go to the front of the bike. And I'm going to kind of look at the handguards. And they look, for the most part, fairly even. This one looks just a little bit higher, but I can adjust it. The guards, the metal arms are slightly flexible, so I can adjust it down so that it is bent more to an angle of my liking. And that should just about do it. Let's do some, I'm going to tighten up some of these bolts, and then we're going to do some still shots. There were a few trial and errors with that arm that mounts the handguard that goes through the throttle cables. I did end up having to bend the arm slightly because I think the US-made, the US 650 Adventura has a different shaped brake master cylinder, I believe. So the arm is designed more for a round one, not the big triangle one that we have here in the US. So that was done off camera. So just know that you'll have to do a slight modification. Installation of the left side, the clutch side handguard, was very simple, very straightforward. I did not include that footage in this video to keep the time to a more reasonable length. I hope this helps you in your install. Okay, so there we have it. I've got handguards from AliExpress for $33, I think they were, off of onto my CFMOTO Adventura 650 MT, 650 Adventura, depending on what country you're in, as well as my new tank protectors, which look very nice and are very well made. So come on back and join me next week. Who knows what will end up happening on Angelo's motorcycle. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that. Help me grow this beginning channel. Also, check me out on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, all as Angelo's Motorcycle, for additional things not always shown here on YouTube. I will see you next week.